Imagine, my dear friends, how God created the earth so perfectly for the mankind to live moderately without any obstacles for their life to survive on this planet. God created the earth so perfectly for the man to live moderately. Focus this, my dear friends. God created so perfectly for the man to live moderately without any obstacles for their life to survive on this planet. Today, the heads of government, world leaders, and the man-made climate change meetings are held year after year to find a solution for the global warming effect. Today, the heads of government, world leaders, at the man-made climate change summit meetings are held year after year to find for a solution for the global warming effect. To reduce the carbon dioxide emission to normal by spending trillions of dollars, and yet the heads of governments, world leaders, nor the scientists are unable to restore all the affected mankind from the disasters of the man-made climate change. The world leaders spending trillions of dollars, and yet the heads of government, world leaders, nor the scientists are unable to restore all the affected mankind from the disasters of the man-made climate change. And focus this, my dear friends. And it's also affected the economic of the world, and billions of people global-wide losing their jobs and increasing lawlessness to uncontrollable status. Due to the man-made climate change, it has affected the economic of the world, and billions of people global-wide losing their jobs and increasing lawlessness to uncontrollable status. And it's becoming more violence and more poverty, the famine, and more incurable various kinds of vulnerable disease are increasing, and no mankind nor the scientists are unable to fix it. And it becoming more violence, more poverty, the famine, and more incurable various kinds of vulnerable disease are increasing, and no mankind nor the scientists unable to fix it. Why? Because the man-made climate change, the man-made climate change will continue to affect the global warming by minute, day by day, and night by night, and it will never sleep as long as the industrial revolutions and the world populations exist. The man-made climate change will continue to affect the global warming by minute, day by day, and night by night, and it will never sleep as long as the industrial revolutions and the world populations exist. So, my dear friends, how can the scientists and the world government leaders avoid the billions of productions of essential, mandatory items of the nations? How can the scientists and the world government leaders avoid the billions of production of essential mandatory items of the nations and the mass transportation of these those items through the air, the sea, and the land global wide in order to reduce the carbon dioxide to normal. Focus, my dear friends. It needs gas or liquid resources to generate the power to work any machinery to move on. It needs gas, liquid resources to generate the power to work any machinery to move on. Imagine how many billions of generators and motor vehicles produces carbon dioxide emissions throughout the world. And also the largest source of greenhouse gases is electric power generators. The average home contributes, including the tobacco cigarette smoke, more to global warming than the average car. And also the largest source of greenhouse gases is electric power generators. The average home contributes, including the tobacco cigarette smokes, more to global warming than the average car. This is because much of the energy we use in our homes comes from the power plants which burn fossil fuel to power our electric products. This is also cause much of the energy we use in our homes comes from power plants which burn fossil fuel to power our electric products. And again, the developed countries and the developing countries, notice what, my dear friends, excuse me. And again, the developed countries and the developing countries, billions of people's daily usage of fossil fuel, the firewood, is usually the principal source of energy. Developed countries and the developing countries, billions of people's daily usage of fossil fuel, the firewood, is usually the principal source of energy for cooking their food and for many other usage of firewood, for home and for their various kinds of industrial works. They need coal, the wood, the oil, and for the billions, focus is my dear friend, and for the billions to burn or cremate their dead ones. These two causes the global warming. And imagine the massive production of nuclear weaponaries all over the earth to protect their countries. Massive production of nuclear weaponaries all over the earth to protect their countries. Notice what, my dear friends, how many billions of weaponaries are used day and night for the ongoing wars around the globe. Many billions of weaponaries are used day and night, global wide, for the ongoing wars around, burning various kinds of materials, plastics, tires, rubbers, synthetic fiber, charcoal and asphalt are burned in the war zone to emit black, notice what this, my dear friends, to emit black carbon soot particles. It means black dust given off by fire, black powdery form of carbon produced. Burning various kinds of materials, plastic, tires, rubbers, synthetic fiber, charcoal, asphalt, etc., are burned in the war zone to emit black carbon soot particles. It means black dust given off by fire, a black powdery form of carbon produced. including the space industries. The rockets and the aircrafts also emit black carbon soot particles produced by hydrocarbon fuel have the greatest potential to increase the global warming. My dear friends, even the space industries, the rockets and the aircraft also emit black carbon soot particles produced by the hydrocarbon fuel have the greatest potential to increase the global warming. These two causes the produce of more than billions of metric tons of soot to increase the global warming. Excuse me, by the way. This causes the produce of more than billions of metric tons of soot to increase the global warming. Think about the pollution of the litter garbage, my dear friends. The pollution of the litter, the garbage, have become to increase the carbon dioxide when emitted into the air at the quantities humans produces over some billions tons of garbage annually over the earth. The pollution of the litter garbage have become to increase the carbon dioxide when emitted into the air at the quantities humans produces over some billions tons of garbage annually over the earth, causing the carbon dioxide traps heat and would escape from the planet's surface. The site where waste material of garbage, trash, or discarded materials accumulating in the habitat land and in the waters, the rivers, the lakes, and the sea worldwide. Discarded materials are accumulating in our inhabited land, in the waters, the rivers, the lakes, and the sea worldwide.